The Chinese philosopher Confucius said it beautifully. We have two lives, and the second one begins when we realize we only have one. I think most people believe that there is a decent chance of there not being an afterlife, and that this human life on earth is a whole right for us in this magnificent but terrifying existence. But so many of us go through life without finding that purpose, that which makes our lives worth living, which makes us grateful for all the things in life that we are still able to do. And I am still looking for that purpose. But since I started this psychological journey of finding my own path through life, I realized that a lot of people from all ages are still waiting for their purpose to find them. And for 99% of people, that wait is going to be an eternal one. When I was young, I think it started at my birth basically. Religion was my purpose. I truly believed that there was a God, and I read the Bible religiously. That was a period of my life where I was really happy, but eventually the bubble burst. At 12, 13 years old, I didn't believe in God anymore. It was a whole transition for me because I still prayed. At bed, I went to my knees and I asked God, why did this happen to me? How can I improve in this part? And after a while, it got very frustrating for a young little me that I never really got an answer. Now, to this day, I am still praying, but now I don't seek for answers from God Himself. I seek to meditate on my problems and try to solve them without having an emotional reaction that will influence my reaction to the problem. So, but when I was young, it was frustrating. I thought, I'm asking you, I'm begging you to answer me. Like, you can picture a young boy, a 10-year-old boy, sitting on his knees beneath like a roof window, looking at the sky, in tears because God is not answering to his calls. And that used to be me. I think it's still quite sad to think about, but it was part of the journey and I needed to go through it. So when I got to high school, 13, 14 years old, I had transitioned from being a boy who believed in God to kind of being an atheist. Like I started seeing clips online like God is not real, of course he's not real, here are the reasons, and I started believing it. I got influenced by online communities. I joined more of the atheist part of the argument, and I was turning more and more pessimistic. It wasn't like suddenly one day I believed in God and I was optimistic, and the next day I was not believing in God anymore and I was pessimistic. No, but it was a transition, I think, from 13 to 15 years old. And when I got to 15 is when I got my PlayStation and I got really toxic actually. Like, if I think about it, my puberty period, it was not very positive. So I turned away from God. I had a very bad period in my life at the same time. And then I realized, or I thought I realized, people are bad, only I am good, because I am still a good person at heart. Although I don't believe in God anymore, I still think that the decisions I make and the thoughts that I have are good. And people that don't agree with me or think something else, they are wrong. So I turned into an egoist. I thought people were dumber than me, or less intelligent overall, and I had a better capability of making intrusive thoughts that could change the world. So I was really on one when I was in this period because I was a cooning gaming boy and I thought I could solve the world problems. And after a while, it turned into something that I consider also toxic, but not as toxic as egoism. I turned to monetary pleasures. So my way of thinking when I turned 15, 16, and I got introduced to like the Alex Hormozis, I started reading books about masculinity. I really thought, wow, money is the best thing you can have in your life. I need to get rich ASAP. So I thought, okay, life brings problems, bring them on. I will try to get rich and solve all the problems monetarily. Now, you can already see where this is going because this is not the right mindset to have. Yes, money solves a lot of problems, but money doesn't solve the internal problems that you have with your own person that you need to solve by either meditating, reflecting on the things you need to reflect on so that you can grow as a person. Because, yes, you can grow your net worth to an infinite amount. I saw Elon Musk turned a trillionaire, the first one in the world, at least on paper, today. So he can have as much money as he wants. He still needs to reflect on himself as a person and try to improve to really get all of life that he can get. So yeah, money is good, not the answer to everything, of course. And then I started reading more books and more books. Eventually, I read Meditations from Marcus Aurelius, and I started listening to Stoic Coffee Break, which I think is an amazing podcast. It will teach you a lot in the span of 15 minutes. It's definitely a recommendation of mine. But it was Stoicism and nihilism at the same time. So, although I was still chasing money, I was 50% giving up on life. Like, why does anything matter? And this was during my weed period. Like, it doesn't matter if I smoke every week or sometimes more, of course, almost close to every day at some points of my addiction. I was like, why does it matter? I'm gonna die anyway soon. I really had that mindset when I was like 18 to 20 years old. Like, why does it matter what the fuck I do? I just do the shit I enjoy. Yes, I went to school because I had to, but for the rest, I played football. I met up with my friends. I played video games. I just did whatever the fuck I wanted because I thought this life is way too short to just waste it on whatever the fuck I don't want to do. But the stoicist, I think, in me was like, this mindset is so wrong. It was an internal battle between stoicism and nihilism inside of me that wanted to take control of both of them. And I'm happy to say that stoicism has won, and it's definitely, for me, it was the right path to go down. And I think everybody needs to go through a phase where they are not quite sure which direction they want to take their life in. And for me, this was the period from 17 to, let's say, 21 years old. I was changing a lot inside, outside, and everything. So eventually, Stoicism won, and I learned a lot from that period of time, from reading the books, from listening to the people that know a lot about it. And I think controlling your emotions is one of the most fulfilling things you can do. Like, once you notice the progress you've made, once the people that anger you the most normally, which for me were mostly either my friends or family members, once you notice that you don't get worked up as much or you don't let them really get to you anymore, that's something good. It's not like they've changed as people because they've never done anything wrong. But for me, I was a very frustrated boy when I was growing up, and everything would piss me off. If you said one thing wrong, I was really angry. Like, from a young age, I could get really angry over nothing. Like, if I felt I was done wrong, I wouldn't let the other person explain. No, I would just get angry. And I think Stoicism saved me from having an emotional reaction to things that have a logic solution, that you don't need to get angry if somebody quote unquote stabs you in the back, but they didn't see or even think about doing something wrong to you. It just felt to me like that, and I do still struggle with it. I feel communication is very key to avoiding emotional reactions for myself. This has been a big growth factor in my relationships, not only with my friends but also with girls, of course. And it's definitely something that I'm still growing in, but it's going in the right direction. So stoicism gave me purpose, it gave me something to focus on, it made me realize that life isn't just about enjoying everything you do, but more about enjoying the process of bettering yourself and getting more control over my emotions and over all the things in life. You only can get control over the things that you do. And your mind is you, it's 100% you. You can decide what you think, how much you think. You can turn your brain off. It's a superpower. And that's what Stoicism did for me. It helped me get through this period where I didn't find a purpose. So I made one. It was focusing on myself and developing a strong mind. Now, eventually, throughout this period, I was still chasing money, of course, but I turned into a realist, I would say. I would still call myself a stoic, but more of a realist today. And I realized that money is important, but it isn't the savior of your life. I can have $5 million today and it would be bad for me. I wanted to say not good, but it would be very, very bad. Yes, I think I could go smartly with it, but I do still think that I have not grown as a person enough to be able to handle that kind of not only money but that kind of power. Because with $5 million, yes, it's not fuck you money, but you can do whatever the fuck you want for like 5 or 10 years and just waste it all on fucking drugs or something. Of course, I wouldn't do that. I would invest it smart, and I think I'd let it last in my entire life. But just having that power is different, and I want to have the journey that will eventually make me get there. And I think the journey is what will teach me the most about what to do with the money, how to spend it, how to save it, how to invest it. And I think earning not only the money, but the power and the lessons that come with a journey, not only to money, but to other things in life, marriage, friendships, working out. It's easy to just dream about the end and be like, oh yeah, I want to be there already. But then you wouldn't have a purpose. Your purpose in life is to have a journey and try to get somewhere. So a purpose is, for me, directly linked to having goals in life. That's why I set goals for every sector of my life, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally. I try to set goals. Of course, for some it's harder than for others, but as long as you feel like you're progressing, it's easier to enjoy the process. And that's where I find my purpose, to enjoy what I'm doing day to day and grow as a person. Now, this isn't always easy, but you need to try to give your life perspective. Sometimes you need to zoom out, and that's why I journal so much, is to zoom out and be like, okay, what am I achieving today or this week or this month that will bring me to my goals? That is my purpose, to set goals for myself that are difficult, but not too difficult and not too easy, and that I can accomplish in the time period that I've set. Now, today I would call myself stoic, realist, optimist. I think I'm slowly growing more from realism to optimism because people are good. I've thought for like years people are bad. You see it online. I think it gets pushed a lot, like the CEOs is bad people, government, they're all after you, they just want taxes, they don't do anything good. And I can't argue with the arguments that they put on the table, but people are good. Not everybody's good. You got rotten apples everywhere. But I just enjoy life more if I'm thinking positive thoughts and not constantly, oh, this person is doing it for this reason and this reason. And this is something that I've started with recently, I think maybe a year or so. And it's been difficult. I can't lie. I love seeing the bad in people. That part of me is pessimistic, but I try to be more optimistic. Like everything will be okay, because I can stress out sometimes over like little things, and just realizing that life is full of ups, but the ups won't feel good if you don't have the down moments. And I realized that I just need to make the best of my situation. If I have a bad day, a bad week, it happens. We all have hormonal balances, and sometimes life can be going fucking great. I can be earning money, I can be spending time with my friends, with my girlfriend, with my family. There would be no reason to feel bad, but I would still feel bad because of the hormonal balance. So just think positively and everything will be alright. Life is a journey. Try to enjoy it. Try to enjoy the bad times because they will end and a good time will come. And that's why I think like money will help. It will reduce the stress of the bad times and enhance the the fun of the good times. But I think being kind and loving and friendly helps even more. If you are social and talking to people, sharing your experiences, life will be even more fun. Don't isolate yourself because being social is also the purpose of being human. We are in it together. Everybody has their own purpose, their own goals in life, but you don't have to achieve them alone, or at least you don't have to suffer alone. So talk to people, share your experiences, and find goals that will make you have a purpose in life. That was it for me today, guys. I will talk to you next week. Bye.